A lot of the people have so much of a self-awareness, or the opposite, they have no self-awareness, that it's really hard for them to understand how to really get their mind in order and basically know what you really want. And so to keep it simple and concise, I just want to say that there's a lot of physical and mental practices for this, such as meditations, weightlifting, etc, etc. But here are some things that really nobody tells you, and I really haven't seen anyone talking about this in sort of like concise and informative video to actually help and giving some action steps. But before we begin, make sure to click the top link in the description and join my free online community, and also subscribe. So the first thing that you want to do is you want to clean your room. And I know that sounds cliche, and your subconscious mind may ask like, am I really that down bad that I have to clean my room to get something in order? And the answer is probably yes. And Jordan Peterson talks a lot about this. You want to get your mind in order in the first place before you really go out and you protest about some things and really try to fix other people. Because everything that is happening in life is basically coming from the internal side of you. And you really want to clean up your room to actually understand yourself and how you really want things to look like. When I really started to clean up my room and I started to put things in order, when I started to create routines, when I started to make timetables and stuff like that, I realized a lot of things about me. So it's like in the past 3 or 4 days, I've changed a lot. It's like I have a lot of lessons in front of me. I have a lot of kind of the papers in front of me on the wall. And I have book right here, and I have pen right here, and I have journal right here, and I have like camera right here. And this is so different. And I just want to tell you that you're probably not going to do this because you think that you're too good for it and this is not for you and your room is kind of clean and everything. But really, if you just go and clean up every single corner of your room, every single like dust, everything, and you change your bed, you iron all of your clothes, you put this book right here, this thing right here, and probably the biggest reason why I think everyone should do this is because you get so much of a self-control for this. Because for example, if you feel sad, like sadness is basically lack of options. You have no options, you have no control over things. But when you have control over your room, it means you have control over your mind, because it's like there's been a narrative like your room represents your mind. And it's become so cliche and all the rest of it, but I think that's probably one of the biggest quotes out there that really makes sense. And so once you feel like you're organized, you basically want to ask yourself what you want to really do. I realized that I don't really want to try to fit in with people that I don't even like, that I don't really enjoy to spend time with. And so I stopped. It's like I organized myself, I understood myself, and I stopped trying to fit in with people that I didn't even like. And I got comfortable with being alone. I got comfortable with not expressing my feelings to every person that I see on the street and not being needy and all the rest of it. And I basically accepted that, like, you know, this narrative, Alex Hormozi talks about this, or Chris Willism, whatever, there was a podcast. Exceptional people get exceptional results. You can't fit in and also be exceptional. And you don't have to get resentful with your own mind. When you're feeling the self-doubt, when you're feeling the uncertainty, when you're feeling anxious and awkward and unsure about some things, because that's okay. Like, the growth isn't linear. Like, when I first started going to the gym, the growth wasn't really that linear. Even though it's the gym, it's like basically the linear progress. The longer you go, the bigger you get. But for me, it was that probably for the first months, I was about to quit like 2 or 3 times, but I kept on going, and then I just loved it. I got obsessed with it because I started seeing the results. And this concept of like that growth isn't linear, probably one of the most important mindsets that I've been able to implement in my mind. It's not something to be ashamed of, because I think that being exceptional is... A lot of people say that you're cringe for not being like them, too good for them, or whatever the fuck. It's like, we're all gonna die. Like, it's not gonna matter what I do today, because my life is today repeated, basically. It's not gonna matter. Everyone is going to forget about my name 6 months after I'm dead. So why would it make sense to hold back your opinions, to hold back yourself? It's like we're getting off the topic of the video, but I'm really getting kind of emotional now because it's really something important that I've learned recently. Why would you hold yourself back, and why would you hold your opinions back, and why would you be scared? And this is actually not going off the topic of the video, because if you're willing to risk something, you will discover the unseen part of yourself, and you will understand what you really want, because all of the shit comes after basically crossing the moats, like getting off, like climbing off this wall, whatever you want to call it. If you really want to go and do something or risk something, do it today. Don't wait for something, for better moment to appear. And I'm not like some Jordan Peterson or some expert on this stuff. I'm not a psychologist or any of that stuff. I'm like fucking 17 years old. But what I know for sure is that you need to clean the room. Enjoy my free online community. Take care.